Hey, and welcome back to part 2 of this tutorial series. Today we're going to continue on the to-do list. I have a few more things that I want to add here. First, we can show the vendor name on the product detail page. So show vendor on product detail page. And I also want to add images to the products. So we can add that here. Add images to the products. I'm probably going to add even more to this to-do list as we go on, but we can begin with this. So first we can show the vendor on the product detail page. So if I just open up templates and product detail, then we can see what this looks like. Yes, we can actually show it here together with the price. So if I just move this to a separate line, then we can have a dash to separate this, and then product.createdby.username. Refresh. Okay, that's empty. It shouldn't be created by. Sorry, it's user, not created by user. So this was now created by admin. Maybe we should change this to get full name, which is probably empty. So then we can either show the username or the full name. So let's say first of product.user.getFullName, or if that isn't there, we can say product.user.username. We need to change this to be a template tag like this. Now Django will check if this exists, and if so it will print it. If not, it will just show the username like that. So if I then go to the admin site, oops, that does not exist. Yes, okay, you can see here that I get the no category matches. So I have done something wrong in the URLs file. So open up not that one, but the patnet.urls. We can set these two at the top here, because since these are hard-coded, we want to match these before we try to go into the category or the product. So if I now go back and refresh, we will be sent here. Nice. So then I can log in with the user I created in the previous part. And if I then go into users and find my own user here, I can set the name here, Stein, Helset, and save this. And if I now go back and refresh, you can see Stein Helset here. Nice. So now we know who are selling this product as well. So let's go back to the to-do list and set the first task to done. Next step then is to add images to the products. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to all of my patrons. If you too want to support me, you will find a link in the description below. So I want to have a thumbnail and also multiple images. But the multiple images is something I want to come back to later. Right now I just want to have one main image for the product. So if I now open up the store models.py, we can add this to the product. So image equals models.image field. Now we need to specify where we want this to be uploaded to. So upload to, then just uploads /product_images, and then all of these images will be put in this folder. If you upload two similar files, then Django will automatically handle the rewrite of the name for us. Can set this to blank equals true and null equals true in case we don't have an image. So if we save this now, go to the command line, you will see here that I get an error. That is because Pillow isn't installed. Pillow is something that Python uses to manage images for resizing and a lot of other things. So we need to install this. pip3 install Pillow. And then Django will now, the virtual environment will now install the latest version of this for us and set up everything we need. Great, so when that is done, I can run the make migrations, Python managed.py make migrations, and Python managed.py migrate. Then I can run the server again, but this will not work yet because we need to do some changes in the settings.py folder. So if I now go to settings.py, then I can scroll down and find the static URL. We need a similar for the media URL, so media URL, media, and we also need to specify the media root, where the files should be put on the server. So media root equals base dir. This is a variable specified in the top here, which is the path to the parent or the root of this project. So if I scroll down again, then I can just say slash media. So you can see here, it say here how you can do this. So space, now base dir slash, and then the subdirectory. So if I save now, then the files should be uploaded into a folder in the root called media. So I can create it here, media, and then Django will handle the rest for us. So if I now go into the admin area, go into products and try to add something for this product here. So you can see here that I have this image and then valg field, which is Norwegian for choose file. Okay, I can just use one of these. So let me just select the sofa, which isn't very similar to 5 kilograms of lamb, but whatever. And hit save. And if I now go back to Visual Studio Code, I should be able to go in here. Then you have a uploads folder and product images. And in there we have the Segundo sofa, which is the file I just uploaded. And if I go in here again, you should see here that currently this is selected for this product. And if I click it, it will say image not found, because Django isn't set up to handle media files. But during development, we can make Django serve these for us, but when we go into production, we will need a separate Nginx server for this. So I just want to go into one of my older projects and find the code I need for this. It's just a couple of lines. If I find one of the older projects, for example, Soul Gadgets, go into, not this one, the Soul Gadgets there, and URLs. Then at the end of the URL patterns, as you can see here, I just want to add this line. So let me just open up the urls.py file again and paste it here. So this now uses a function called static, which comes from Django, which takes this URL and matches it together with the media root. So I need to import these two things here, because you can see I get two errors from django.config conf import settings, and that's gone. And then I just need to go back here again and find for the static, because I don't remember this in my head. Like that. Oops, I want to have it there. Django.conf urls.static import static. So if I now save and go back to this and refresh, I will now see the image here. Nice. So then I can make it possible to show it here on the list page. So just go back to Visual Studio Code and find the template for this. This should be the front page. So core templates front page. And then I can show this above the title. Div class, what is the image, just so I have a separator for this. And then wrapped around this, I want to check if we have a product image. So if product.image, fix the indentation, and if, and then in here we say img src, and product.image.url, then Django will give us the full URL for this. Then we need to set the alt attribute, and that can just be the product title or image of, and then the title. and save. So if I refresh now, you'll see that we see the image there. These don't have any images yet, and then the last thing is just some space below the image. So MB2 and refresh. Nice. And I also want to show this at the top here, above the title. So I can just copy this and find the file in here, store, templates, product detail, and paste this above the title. Here I might want some more space down to the title, so MB4, refresh, and then we have the image there as well. So the last place we need this now is in the product detail page. So, sorry, category detail. I can just paste it here as well and save. So if I refresh now, you'll see the image there. Nice. So now we have product images as well. So then I can go to the to-do list and set this task to done. I don't want to do the search yet, so let me just move this further down, maybe down there. Then we can do the vendor detail page instead. So when I'm inside a product, I want to make it possible to click the vendor name here, so I can go into a vendor, read a little bit about him, and also see all the products connected to that vendor. And this is something I want to be located in the user profile app. So inside views.py we can create a new view. Def vendor detail, pass in a request, and then the ID for that vendor or the user. So PK for primary key. And then we can get the user from the database by saying user equals user.objects.get. Primary key equals PK, which we get from the URL. Now we can say return render request, and then the name of the template we want to use, which should be user profile / vendor detail.html. And then we need to make it possible to use this variable in the template. So in here we say user. As you can see, I get a little error here because I haven't imported the user model yet, so I need to do that before I continue. From django.contrib.auth.models import user and save. So now the error is gone and this view is more or less done. If I then create a new template file here, templates, then the user profile, and then in there the file called vendor detail.html. I want this to extend the base template as well, so extends core /base.html. Then I can add the block content, oops, like that, and say end block. The vendor detail page. Okay, so I also want to separate URLs file for this app, so we don't have to add all of the URLs in the main file. So here we create a new file, urls.py. Then we need to import path from Django, from django.urls import path. And we need to import the view we just created. So from.import views. We can just import the whole file. Then we create the URL pattern, patterns, create a new list, oops. And then here is a path. And here we want to expect the integer called primary key. And when this is matched, we want to go into views.vendor_detail. And we can set the name to vendor detail as well and save. We also want to prefix this with vendors, so we can just add that here actually. Vendor. So when the URL is vendor / then an integer, then we go into this vendors in case we want to have that page as well later. So if I now go into petnet and then urls.py, we can add it here. So then we just add it at the top here, path. This can be empty here as well. Include user profile.urls. And the reason why I want it above this is that the URLs inside here are static, meaning that this will always be matched if it is vendors, but if you had a category called vendors, then that would be matched before we go into this. So it's important that we have the correct order there. If I now try to go to vendors, I will get an error, but you can see here that I can go to vendors / an integer, then add the ID for the admin user. So as you can see here, I don't have a title for this, but that can be the username or the full name of the user. So if I go back to vendor detail, oops, where are you? There. Then above here, we can say block title, and then first of user.get full name. And if we don't have the full name, we say user.username. Now we can close the block and block. Save, refresh, and then you see here Stein, which is the vendor we are on. So then I just want to see on the page for the product detail. Okay, just using regular H1 here. So then I do the same here. And I can copy this because I want to show either the name or the full name. So close the H1, save and refresh, and then we have the name of the vendor. Below here I want to show the description for the vendor when we get to that point, but now we can just show all of the products. So if I go into, for example, category, then I can make a copy of this product list and paste it here. Now we don't have this products variable available, but we know that the user is connected to a field called products on the product model. So we can here just say user.products.all. Refresh, and then I get all of the products that Stein has added. Nice. So now we have a detailed page as well, but I can't click this yet, so I want to fix that before I continue. So if I open up the product detail.html, then I can add it here. So href, then we can use the URL function from Django and say vendor detail, and then we can specify the user ID. So product.user.id. And close that one, and close the anchor tag after the name. So save and refresh, and now I should be able to click this and be sent to the vendor detail page. Nice. We should also probably do more things with the product listing here, like a pagination, maybe even a search just for this vendor and similar, but that is something we need to come back to. So now I can go to the to-do list and set this task to done. Next step then is to add authentication. It's time to make it possible to sign up, log in and log out. So we can begin with the sign up functionality. I have already done this in a lot of other projects, so I'm just going to base some of this on that code. If I just find the apps. Actually, I can use one of the little bit more newer projects than that. Just find it here. Yes, the interior shop. That is a little bit newer than the Soul Gadgets. So if I go into vendor here, this is also a multiple vendor e-commerce website, but the one I'm working on now is much newer. So I need a few of these files. So if I open up the forms, that is not the correct one. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure where I was supposed to go now. Become vendor, that's probably the template. Form as paragraph. Become vendor, okay, I used the user creation form here, okay, sorry. So then I can just copy this line. I will explain as I paste it in this project. So user profile views.py, and then I import it here. From django.contrib.auth.forms, we import the user creation form, which is a form from Django, which lets us create users very easily. Then I can create the view become vendor, but I want to call it sign up. So here is the def sign up, pass in a request, like that. And then as you can see here, we check first if request method is post, which means that we have submitted the form. And if so, we want to create a new instance of that form here based on the information we have in the request post data. This is information like the username and the password you have filled out in the form. Then we can check if that form is valid, meaning that you have put a valid email address and password and similar. And if that's the case, then we can create a user based on that form and save it in the database. And then when that is done, we want to log in the user. So then we just use a function called login, pass in the request data and the user we just created. You can see here we need to import this as well, which is the function called login. And after we have logged in, you can see here that we are creating a new vendor, but we want to create a new user profile instead. So user profile equals user profile.objects.create user equals user. I don't think we have any more fields for this yet. No. As you can see here, we just have these two. So then I get a new error because I have imported this model. So from .models import user profile, like that. So when that is done, we can just return the user back to the front page of this project. Later we want to redirect him to the My Account page or the admin page for the vendors. So then we need to import a redirect function as well. This is a shortcut. So just from Django.shortcuts, we already import the render shortcut, but we need the redirect function as well. If the user hasn't submitted the form, we can say form equals user creation form and just set it empty like this. So then we have an empty instance to render the form to the user. And then we can just return render request, and then the template, which is user profile / signup.html. And then we need to pass in the form and save. So now that is done. Then we need to import this to the URLs file in the user profile. Then we can say path signup / views.signup name vendor signup. Actually, we just want to say signup in case you are a regular user, which should also be able to create user profiles like that. We will come back to separating users from vendors later. So if I now try to go back here, for example here, and say sign up, then I will get a template does not exist yet. Okay, so let's create that. Just want to copy the top here, this part, And then we create a new file, signup.html. Sign up can be the title, and block sign up and save. So if I now refresh, I will see this. Nice. So now I want to render the form variable down there. You can begin by adding a form tag. Form method should be set to post, and action can be set to dot, which is the page we are on. Since this is a post request, you need to add the CSRF token for security. So use this tag CSRF token. This makes it possible for Django to prevent post requests from other pages than this exact one. Then we can just say form.sp, which is as paragraph. And then below here we want to sign up a button, so button sign up. If I now refresh, you will see it here, and then you have the button, which doesn't really look like a button, so we should fix that. Class, we need some padding, so py4, py8, and background, bg teal 800. Refresh. Okay, it's better. This should be px, and text white. So refresh. Then it looks like a little bit more like a button. So now that this here, you can see we don't see these. I'll come back to the styling later. But at least we should be able to sign up now. If I click this one, you see that vennligst fyll ut dette feltet, which is just Norwegian for please fill out this field. Code with Stein, and then a password. Sign up. Okay, so now I was signed up and redirected to the front page, which means that the sign up functionality is actually working. If I try to go to the admin area now, I will be logged out, or at least sent to this page saying that I'm not authenticated or authorized to see the admin page, because only the super admin should be able to go to that page. So now that I'm logged in, I want to make it possible to click here. I want to add a button here so I can go to my account, where I can also log out. So I can create a new view in here called def my account request, and then just the template return render request user profile / my account.html. Save, import this and add it in the URLs. So path my account name, my account. Views.myaccount, because we want to point to that view we just created. Refresh, nothing happens there, so we can create a template. Just want to copy this title here again. So new file, my account.html, my account, and block, and replace the title in the browser also to my account, and save. So nothing happens here yet, but I should now be able to go to my account and see this. Here I want to add the log out button, but first I want to add the my account button up here. So if I just find base.html, then we have it there in the menu.html. Then I can add it here together with these buttons. So href, URL my account, class text white my account, refresh, and then I can click it, and then I will be sent to this page. Nice. But we only want to show this when we are authenticated, so we can check that by saying if request.user, this is automatically added by Django, .is authenticated, Then close this and if and save. If request the user is authenticated. Okay, I might not have access to this actually. So just move it out of menu.html and add it below here. Because we don't have access to the request inside this file, which comes from the tag we added in the previous part. So if I refresh now, you will see this button again. Nice. So then I can create the logout button. If I go to my account, href, URL logout, I will create this view soon. Class, then py4, px8, bgred 400, text white, logout. I will probably get an error now, yes, because the reverse function inside Django tries to find this page, which doesn't exist yet. So we need to add this in the urls.py for user profile. Django actually comes with built-in functionality to log out a user. We just need to import it. So from django.contrib.auth.views import, auth import views. The problem now is that these two are overriding each other. So we need to rename this by saying s auth views. So now this is just called auth views instead of views. Which means that below sign up I can just say path log out. And then we use this auth views dot log out view dot s view name log out. Whoops, like that. So now we use a logout class inside this views here, and then we just render it as a view directly here in the URLs. So if I save now and refresh, the error is gone and we have this button. As you can see here now we have a inline mistake. So open up this again. Now we can say here as block, I think. Yes, but then it fills out the whole screen, so we want to say inline block. Like that. You can also add some space up to the title, empty 6. Save, refresh. That looks a little bit better. Nice. So if I click this now, I will be redirected. As you can see here, I was redirected to Django's default logout page, and that is not what we want. We want to be redirected to the front page of the project. To do that, we need to do some changes in the settings.py file. So if I just go here, then I like to specify this here up in the top. We can say logout redirect URL front page. We can just specify the name there and save. So if I log in again by going, sorry, we don't have the login functionality yet, so we can go to the front page. Now we can create the login page. So that is the next step. Django also comes with functionality for this inside the auth views, so we can just use that as well. Path login / auth views dot login view dot as view name login. I will probably get an error now if I try to go to this page, but I want to try it. Yes, template does not exist. So now this tries to use a folder called registration/login.html. This is default from Django, so we need to specify to not use registration but user profile instead. We can do this inside here by saying template name user profile /login.html. Save. If I refresh, it doesn't exist this either yet, but at least we now know where to put this. We can make a copy of the sign up page because these templates are very similar. Login.html, paste, replace this with login, login, and login, and save. As you can see here, we can just still use this form as paragraph because Django always use the name form whenever they can. That's the reason why I also did this in the registration or sign up page. So if I refresh now, you will see here login and then the username, code Stein, and then the password I used to sign up. So if I log in now, I will be automatically redirected to a page called accounts/profile. This does not exist, so we need to tell Django that we want to be automatically redirected to my account instead. This is also done in the settings.py file. So login, redirect, URL, my account, and save. So if I now just go to the front page, you will see here that I can click my account, which means that I'm now logged in. Nice. So now we have login, sign up, and log out functionality. Nice. So I can now go to the to-do list and set this task to done. I've also now created a very simple my account page, so I can set this task as well to done. We'll probably add more functionality to this later, like edit account and similar. But for now we can just go to the next task, which is create a very simple search, so we can search for products. I want to make it possible to search for the titles and the description for the project, for the products. Okay, so to do that, I want to have a simple search bar here, maybe on this side or on the middle. So we can begin by doing or adding that by going to base.html. And then here together, in here we can just a div class search, search like that. And then in here we want to add a form method is get because we don't want to post this, so we can change the URL and similar. Action should be /search. And then we want first the input field and a button to submit this. So input type search instead of text, because then we get the X there to reset the field. Placeholder search. Button search. And save. So if I now go back and refresh, you'll see here that I can fill out the search, and if I click it, I will be sent to search and then there. So I need to specify a name for this field. Name can be query and save. So try again, lamb, So now you see that I go to /search and the query is lamb. Take away one of the L's, like that. So then the next step now is to just create this view, so we get something there. This can be located in the store, which is probably the most correct place to put this. Def search request, and then we say query equals request.get query, and default this to be empty. So now we get this from the URL, and then we just say return render request, specify the template name store search.html, and I want to have this query available in the template, so query, and save. So if I now refresh, this does not work because I first need to add it to the URLs here. Path, search, views.search, name is also search, and save. So now I will get the template does not exist error. Nice. And then I can copy this whole template for the category, create a new file called search.html, paste the template there. So I can replace this title by saying search, and we don't have any products there yet. But below this title we can say h2 class text xs search results for, and then in here we can print the query. You can also set this to be text gray 600. So refresh search results for a lamp. Now we want to list out all of the products there. So we can first search in the title. If we open up the correct views.py here, views.py in the store folder, products equals product.objects.filter title I contains. So we want all products where the title contains the query, and we need to make these products available in the template. So products, and save. So if I refresh now, I will get these two products. If I just search for something random, it doesn't show anything. But what if I want to search, lamp, like that? What if I want to search the description instead? For example, this one. So it doesn't give me anything now. So how can I search for two products? This is where we want to use a function from Django called queue. I think this is located in the models folder. So from django.contrib.mod. No, that is not correct. I don't remember. So Django search query queue. Django search with queue, blah blah blah. So I need to import this. I do this very often, but I always forget how to do this exact thing. Don't forget to import queue objects. Yes, there we have it. From django.db.models import queue. So then I say queue here and wrap it around the title like that. So we want to have where the title contains this, or as I do here, pipe, the description I contains equals query. Okay, contains, there is an error. Description, maybe it's not the correct field name. Product description, that is correct. Description I contains. Okay, here is something wrong. Okay, let me just save and refresh it on the page so I can see what error there is. Invalid syntax. Okay, I need two pipes there, which is if the title contains or the description contains. So if I refresh now, still doesn't work. I thought this was the correct one. Okay, let me go back to this tutorial again. And queue. Okay, it looks like it was supposed to be like this. Yes, so if this contains or the description, so this is hopefully the correct syntax. Refresh, and now I see the lamp because this text here exists in the description for this product. Nice. But if I just search for something random, I just want to show a quick message to the user that there are no results. So inside search.html, we can say if products, then we show this, else, close it before I forget it, p, there are no products matching this query, and save. Okay, so now we show the user that this does not exist. So then I can go back to the to-do list and set this task to done. Great, so we have come a long way on this project. We have now made it possible to have authentication, we can add products, and we can go around, navigate, click on products, see the vendor detail page, and much more. In the next part of this series, I want to make it possible to add products to the cart. Actually, I think the admin pages for the vendors should come first. Here I want to make it possible for vendors to create products which I will later review and approve before they are shown on the website and similar. And then after that we're going to continue by making the cart functionality, and after that the gateway and the deployment. I will probably also do some more things here in between, or just before the deployment at least. If you have any questions about today's code, feel free to leave a comment below and answer as soon as I can. See you in the next video.